watching Good Morning San Diego.
We are joined this morning to talk a little bit more about the legal aspects of this, and we have a family law attorney in with us this morning. It's Myra Fleischer, and she's talking a little bit about, oh gosh, what's going to happen now with this family and all this money and all this publicity, and wow. Wow, this really came down hard, didn't it?
It came down hard because there is not just the issue of the divorce after a 25-year marriage with children and a lot of assets, but there is 10 years of lying that is involved and another child.
Yeah, the lying is so hard, I would imagine, as a family law person. You know, you've seen this before, and do we really think that Maria didn't know about this stuff?
You know, one wonders. She likely, in my estimation, knew that there was infidelity during the marriage, but it's not just infidelity during the marriage, and she stood by her man. He went through and he became governor of California, and she stood by him. It's the child that throws things off kilter into this mix, and then what do you do about that? It's a child that she didn't know about, somebody she trusted in her home.
Yes, for 20 years apparently, somebody you trusted in your home.
20 years.
And that must just shatter her.
I'm assuming that it shatters her, and then there's 5 children that we have to consider here.
Yeah.
Therefore, and this one child who didn't know that this person was his father.
Which is just amazing. But the amazing thing is that Schwarzenegger somehow kept this a secret all of these years. How did that happen?
How did that happen, and how did the mother of the child keep it a secret for all of these years?
Right.
She's not without culpability here.
Sure.
Obviously, he kept it a secret and had her keep it a secret to push forward his career, whatever arena it was in, whether it was in...
yeah, because, I mean, this child was around when he was running for governor. And we understood Gray Davis actually knew, he was the governor at the time, actually knew about it, but they didn't come forward with it.
They didn't come forward with it. You know, marriage is all about trust and communication, and obviously there was no communication and there was no trust for the last third of their marriage. And other people knew about this situation and did not come forward. You know, it's the classic story of somebody knows something about your life and doesn't tell your spouse. Yeah. So there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of heartache.
I'd hate to be the one to deliver that to Maria.
Well, apparently, from the stories that I have heard, he was the one who delivered it to Maria.
Right.
And she did her little exit strategy and got out of the marriage, and she has been very silent. She's been very Kennedy-like.
Yeah, she has. She's been very cool.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of celebrity involved. Are they going to go through the whole thing and the money fight and the battle? I mean, like you say, she's a Kennedy. She's got her own money.
You know, that depends on them. You know, if I were them, and I were there, one of their attorneys, I would tell them, you need to keep this out of the public eye, you need to do private mediation, you need to go to private judicial arbitration, whatever the private arena is, because there is a lot of complexity to their divorce. She's worth, I don't know, hundreds of millions, he's worth hundreds of millions. There's a lot of complications here financially, and then you've got minor children involved. So you want to keep this out of the public viewing. It's already become a media circus.
Sure, of course. I mean, you have the most famous movie star on earth with a woman from one of the most famous political families on earth.
Right.
And he used to be the governor. It's just an amazing spotlight shining on these folks.
Right. She is like, you know, she's like the royalty of the United States. You know, you equate it to, you know, the Queen of England kind
American
of royalty.
royalty.
Exactly.
Left over from the Kennedys.
Exactly.
Well, we certainly wish her the best. And
Yes.
Arnold, obviously, is back in Hollywood, philandering and doing whatever, I guess.
Well, who knows what that's going to do to his future career in the movies.
Well, in Hollywood, I think it rewards you in some cases.
But you know what I've read? I've read that a majority of his audience is women. So how are the women going to feel about his behavior toward Maria, who was very well liked as the First Lady of California? So who knows?
Well, there's a difference between the voting booth and the ticket booth at the movie theater.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we shall see. All right, listen, thanks for coming in, talking to us this morning.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
You got it. We'll see you later.